A baby elephant watches his mother fade away before his eyes. The way he covers her with leaves will shatter your heart. In the savannas of Kenya's Amboseli National Park, a beloved herd of African elephants roamed. Led by a matriarch named Zara, this group of 15 females and their young was famous among wildlife researchers for their tight-knit bonds. They communicated through low rumbles that vibrated the ground, sharing warnings about lions or directions to waterholes. But one elephant, a gentle soul called Lila, had always stood out. For years she'd tried to conceive, watching as others birthed calves. Her attempts ended in heartbreak, miscarriages that left her trunk drooping in quiet sorrow. The herd rallied around her, touching trunks in comfort, but Lila longed for her own baby. Then a miracle struck. Lila finally became pregnant after a chance encounter with a strong bull during the rainy season. The herd knew instantly. Zara positioned the group to shield Lila, forming a protective circle during migrations. They foraged extra greens rich in nutrients, pushing the best leaves her way with their trunks. As her belly swelled over the 22-month gestation, the protection intensified. No hyena dared approach. Researchers watching from afar noted this unusual vigilance, whispering that it was as if the herd anticipated something special. But if you think this was just routine care, wait until you see what unfolded after the birth. One night, Lila gave birth to a tiny bull calf. Immediately, the herd erupted in joyful rumbles. They gathered close, trunks extended to touch the newborn, welcoming him into the family. Lila named him Kibo in her silent way. Kibo was the picture of enthusiasm, like most elephant calves. He'd charge at butterflies, splash in mud puddles, and nudge his aunts for play. The herd's protection ramped up even more. They formed a living barrier around mother and son during rests, ensuring no predator could slip through. For 6 months, life was bliss. Kibo nursed from Lila, learned to strip bark from trees, and mimic the adult's deep calls. Yet something sinister lurked. Unbeknownst to the herd, Kibo had contracted elephant endotheliotrophic herpes virus, a deadly virus that strikes young elephants without warning. It's real and ruthless, causing internal bleeding and fatigue, often fatal in calves under 2 years. At first, signs were subtle. Kibo lagged during walks, his playful energy fading. He'd stop to rest. More, trunk hanging limp. The herd noticed, slowing their pace to match his. Lila stayed glued to his side, wrapping her trunk around him protectively. But as weeks passed, the illness worsened. Kibo's eyes dulled, his steps faltered, and he struggled to keep up. The group adapted, circling back for him, but it was clear the virus was winning. The very thing that would amaze you, though, is what happened in Kibo's final hours. Communication so profound, it challenged everything humans thought about animal intelligence. The herd was grazing near a shady baobab tree, but Kibo approached Lila deliberately. He reached out with his tiny trunk and gently pulled on hers. It was like a child tugging a parent's hand to say, "Come with me." Lila followed without hesitation, leading them away from the group to a secluded spot under a lone thorn tree. The herd watched but didn't interfere, as if understanding this was private. There, isolated from the others, Kibo and Lila spent their last moments together. He leaned against her massive side. Kibo's breath grew shallow, but he nuzzled her one final time. Lila's trunk stroked his back until his body went still. She let out a heart-wrenching trumpet like a cry of anguish. But here's the part that left everyone breathless: the herd's collective mourning. As Lila's call faded, the group rushed over, trunks raised in alarm. They surrounded the body, touching Kibo gently as if urging him to wake. Zara, the matriarch, placed her foot on his side in a ritualistic gesture elephants are known for. For hours they stood guard, rumbling softly in what scientists call elephant funerals. Some swayed trunks over him, others scattered dirt and leaves, a burial custom observed in wild herds. Even after they moved on, compelled by survival needs, the story didn't end. Months later, researchers tracked the herd returning to that exact spot under the thorn tree. They'd pause, sniffing the ground where Kibo fell, rumbling low as if remembering.